Hello, I'm Mitch Ryan. Today we're joined with Andy. How you going, Andy?
I'm Ryan, but that's all good.
Ryan, sorry, man. Ryan, what was the last name?
Svirac.
Svirac. Sorry, man. Sorry. Far out. That's embarrassing. Anyway,
That needs to go on there though.
Just put your name at the bottom.
let's just say that's the first time that's happened. Anyways, sorry. Hi, I'm Mitch Ryan. Today we're joined by Ryan. So Ryan, I really liked your movie. Particularly the relationship between like the mother and the daughter. Like, were they actually related, or was that just something you adapted throughout the course of the film?
My film was The Man Who Punched Everything. There was no mother and daughter at it whatsoever.
Man, sorry, I must have opened up to the wrong page. Far out. That's
This has to go up after my film. I like the
Man,
relationship
I'm
between the
so-
mother and daughter.
so sorry, man. Okay.
You know, I prefer these questions, to be honest.
Okay. It wasn't a music video, was it?
No, it was grindhouse sort of punching, fighting one. Lots
Right.
of blood.
I told you to watch it. last night.
Yeah. Was it?
Here's my
I've
hard
got-
drive. Go chuck it on. Give me 8 minutes. Actually, speaking of which, they could probably go behind that.
Was there a band in your movie?
Not the slightest.
No, it wasn't. I'm sorry, guys.
Anyone got a laptop?
Watch it now.
No, it's alright. We'll just well, tell me about your movie. What's it about? We'll start with that.
That's lovely.
I'm so sorry,
Nah,
man.
dude, it's fine. Well, my movie is a short film. It's sort of like a grindhouse B film sort of thing. The whole premise we went in with the film was just we knew there was going to be errors. Being a student film, there always is. So we thought that we would like tap that on the head and just capitalize on it and make a grindhouse film where we could make mistakes and kind of it would just add to the charm of the film. So The Man Who Punched Everything was just a small tale about a man escaping a prison cell that he's been trapped in by his evil stepbrother, and he's just got to punch his way out to freedom.
That's an awesome idea. So how do you go about your directing? Like, how do you get with the best out of your actors and your crew?
Well, with this, we kind of thought we would try to limit the actors because there was so much stunts and sort of action things, and we know that some actors, not all actors, but they can be a bit scared to even drop to their knees. So we kind of went with a second option and just went to the local wrestling school and kind of got all them in on it because they all knew each other. They're all willing to sort of hurt each other, and you know, it's the last time I'm going to be able to get away with that in a student film, really. But they've all got their own sort of safety backgrounds and stuff like that because the main actor was the owner of the school who trains and teaches all these people. So it was done in the safest way possible, but also in probably the most efficient way possible as well.
Yep. So was it fun filming stunts? I imagine we don't usually get a lot of films where, particularly from students, where there's a lot of fighting. So did you find it looked tacky, or did you really sort of capture like the moment sort of thing?
Well, I think we got away with quite a few bits, but the reason we did it as a grindhouse film was if things were tacky, we could get away with it. You know, we did the cheesy dialogue, we did things like that. So yeah, it had a few cool action moments, like we smashed someone through a table in one scene, and like set all poker chips up on it so they went flying, and you know, that was great fun. Had people getting punched in the face, had about a six-person fight scene, I think, and that turned out pretty cool. But obviously there's times I wish we could have filmed it a little bit different, but I think considering how we went about it, it was pretty efficient. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. What was the music score like? Did you have your own original stuff, or was it?
Well, pretty much with that, we had Blake Savage working on a lot of the sound, so that was cool. He did a pretty fantastic job, and we also worked with a local band called It All Ends Here, who I'm friends with the bass player, and he pretty much just said, we've finished our EP, it's all completely mastered and really good quality. He goes, you can do what you like with it. So that gave them a bit of publicity and gave us some more publicity as they showed the video on their page, so it kind of worked out for both of us.
In terms of the movie itself, where did you find inspiration for it? Was it based on anything in particular, or was it completely original?
It wasn't really based on anything. I knew I wanted to do something just really cheesy and over the top, but I think the premise came from, I was watching a Simpsons episode, and they were watching, I think it was the monster who ate everything, and they kept getting angry because they kept saying, did it eat Jenny? And it's like, it ate everything. And I was like, and then I can't remember what clicked, but then I was saying about the man who punched everything, and I was just like, that could be a really cheesy, fantastic idea. So I kind of just rolled with it and just wrote a big plot session out and no real dialogue. There's like a little bit of dialogue at the end, but I was like, you know, none of these people are really actors, so let's just put them in their comfort zone.
Definitely. So were there many difficulties whilst filming, or was it pretty smooth, sort of?
There were a lot of difficulties, but any film's going to have something going on, but I think with this it kind of all masked over quite well, because anything that we kind of went, oh, I don't like this or I don't like that, kind of just worked with the film, because like I said, we gave ourselves that leeway doing it in that cheesy style. So, but yeah, the main thing we had was a few transitions we could have done better, and obviously a bit more effort in the location scouting, but in saying that, I don't think anyone noticed that we filmed in the same room like 3 times for a couple different scenes, so it's all good.
Yeah. So what's happening now with you personally? What are you working on at the moment?
I'm currently working on a TV series pilot. It's called Lake Electric. It's very Miami Vice inspired. We're just trying to get a lot of the Perth scenery and trying to make it as neon and 80s and pretty as we can. It's a lot of it's me and one of the actors acting in it as well. Eduardo, who was the villain in the film, he's one of the good guys in this time, and we've got a few of the wrestlers back to do some stunt work, which is fantastic. So we're starting to build like a little, you know, group which is just easy to work with, and we can call it, you know, the drop of a hat, which is making my life a lot easier.
What sort of tips do you have for student filmmakers, especially, I suppose, as I said, your film is one of the only ones we have with like proper stunt scenes. What advice do you have to students when they're looking for these actors, and you know, and how do you film and make the stunts believable rather than that sort of thing?
Well, obviously the biggest thing is research. I mean, I used to be a big wrestling fan when I was younger, which gave me the idea to work with these guys, but you've got to learn that the best effect is something that's solidly in camera, and that's why I thought, instead of trying to do all the trick angles and stuff like that as much as I could, if we could get, obviously you do your angles, like your cuts and stuff like that, but if you can get it properly, as close as you can to connecting, that's going to look realer 9 times out of 10. Obviously not everyone has this, but I think the biggest advice I can give to students is work with what you have. I mean, there's so many students who try to be ambitious and try to do this and that, and I know I'm one of them, but every time I plan something, I kind of go, well, I know I can pull this off, otherwise I'm not going to do it. And students, I think, need to stop trying to be so serious straight away. I mean, everyone knows we're just doing student films. There's always going to show, no matter how good of a job you do. It doesn't mean that you can't be proud of your work and you can't, you know, try to aim for things, but one thing I see all too often is just too many student directors trying to punch way above their weight and just try to knock something out that they're not capable to do yet, instead of just trying to hone their craft.
Yeah, definitely. So what is your plan for the future in terms of seeking fame and like career-wise, or are you just happy doing what you're doing?
Well, what I plan to do is I'm going to go for my master's and doctorate eventually. That's going to be further down the track. So, but I plan to chase the dream for quite a while after I do my master's, and go over east and see what I can sort out with myself there, because as much as I love Perth and would love to do stuff here, it's still not quite at that point, which is crushing because I wish it was, but I feel like if you can get a bit of a name for yourself over there and do some stuff, you can possibly bring it back here. So that's kind of my goal anyway. And then pretty much, yeah, go for the doctorate and hopefully be able to teach it at a level as well, I think would be something I'd be quite interested in doing. So, yeah.
So, that's it.